Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday, October 28th. We are, I think, just about halfway over the semester. Halfway, yeah, through the semester. So I want to just take a moment to take a few deep breaths, everybody. We've come this far under very difficult situation. And I thank you. I thank you all for the energy and dedication you've shown to your students and to your colleagues all of these many weeks. Um, it's not easy for any of us to work in isolation, to not hang out with our colleagues and our students. So we understand how difficult it is. So thank you very much for all that you do every day. And Michelle Sturgis, I don't know what you're doing with bat wings, but it looks very cool. I don't know if you guys can see Michelle, but you should find her in your Brady Bunch squares because that's pretty awesome. Okay, we have just 2 items on the agenda, and there was one question that was put on the list of topics. So thank you for the person who submitted that. And we'll begin mostly to talk a little bit about the system-wide conversations that are taking place. As you know, if you've been listening to Zooms and listened to Erica and Mike on Monday, there are convenings of system-wide faculty and staff in various areas. Those were in the first table in Erica's document. So there are or will be soon convenings of financial aid, admissions, IR, continuing ed. I thought there was one more. No, I cannot remember.
Non-instructional faculty.
Non-instructional faculty, is that what you said?
The counselor's one.
The counselor's one, so sorry. Thank you. There are going to be those convenings, and some groups have already started in that system-wide part. And then there's another table that had academic programs, and those have begun as well. So we are going to hear from the folks on our campus who are in the lead positions on those. So we'll start with Noel, who is involved in many of those and can update all of us on what's going on. Noel, please.
Okay, sorry. So 3 groups. So the ones that Louise already mentioned, one is financial aid. So basically the way these system groups work is they have a charter that they're responsible to then provide feedback to by the associated timeline, which is November 9th. So I think the financial aid one is already up and running and having conversations. That one is being led by the UH Maui Chancellor Louis. He is also leading the one for non-instructional faculty, which is the counselors, how I look at it. We just met with him on Monday with the CASAL, which is all the vice chancellors of student affairs and dean of students across the CCs. We just approved our charter, and I'll be talking more about that with the student services meeting later on today, as well as sharing that with all of the counseling faculty to then start more conversations around those. The last one is going to be the one for admissions, which is led by LCC's Chancellor. That one, I believe they're still working on the charter and should get that done sometime this week to start the discussions with the bullet point around the admissions from that Vice President LaCroix document. And I think that's it, right, Louis? Sorry, I forgot what you told me to talk about.
So what's your timeline? What's your process?
The timeline obviously is November 9th, which is very soon. It's also the first day of registration, in case that date sounds familiar to anybody. So basically the process, so with the financial aid one, they already have the meetings with different representatives across the campuses that are meeting together. So they're having that conversation. The admissions one is yet to form, but I assume they're going to follow the same process. Counselors one is a little bit different because we're not going representatives from the counseling units to then form a group at the system. We actually have the charter that will then will basically talk amongst the campus. So actually the counseling one, we talk here at Kapiolani Community College with the counselors as well as the administrators. So I'll probably have more details later on today of how those meetings will be set up and how it will be taking place.
Thank you. I'll hold questions until all of the administrators have had a chance to report, and then we'll open for questions on that part of it. Maria, any updates? Because you're leading some of the arts and sciences, or one of the arts and sciences.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Um, all the VCAAs and the deans of the 7 campuses are leading discussions in different disciplines. I am involved in the natural science one in transfer, which is being led by Charles Sasaki, and I'm leading the discussion with Jim Goodman from Leeward on the natural sciences. Navaa is leading the one for the Hawaiian studies with Jennifer from Honolulu CC, and they're also both leading the discussion for the liberal arts. So for the natural sciences, we will have our first meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So I don't have much to report to you guys, but for our campus, Amy and Hervé are going to be participating in the discussion for the natural sciences. So we'll let you guys know more about it. Again, our timeline too is November 9. So we hope to squeeze in 2 meetings between now and November 9 so that we can come up with a plan for the ASNS program. We all know that we're all not on the same level, so I do not know how the discussion is going to come out. So we'll see how we can help each other out just to strengthen the programs in each campus. I don't think, well, I don't know. Depends on the conversation that's going to happen tomorrow. If anybody is going to say, yeah, we don't want to offer it anymore. But as of now, I think everybody wants to keep that ASNS program. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Maria. Lisa?
Good afternoon, everybody. The health science, so just a little about the structure there, because the campus or the programs that are on a single campus, leadership on the individual campus will be facilitating those conversations. So I met with the 6 programs that were identified in Erica's memo. We met on Monday. Last week, each program was provided the list of guiding questions and as well as what the deliverables need to address, so that would help them craft their responses to those guiding questions. We had our first meeting on Monday, and we kind of did roundtable where everyone shared their responses. And for the single campus program, and specifically for the health programs, we responded to demand for the programs, as well as needing to address the small class sizes. So they are now going to, they're working on their updated responses, and they're getting those to me today. We will be, I'll be compiling them all in one comprehensive response for Erica. I'll be sending it back to the faculty for them to review and approve, and then we'll be submitting that. And that's phase 1. We again also have that deadline of November 9th, just as everyone else. Medical assisting is going to also be addressed. That was also in Erica's memo. Kay Ono from Honolulu CC, she is going to be convening that group. She'll be their facilitator. I believe they start on Friday, and that is because it's on multiple campuses. And then in phase 2 will start in November, and phase 2 will bring in the other programs that were not listed in Erica's memo, as well as continuing the conversations with the initial 6 programs. And in that phase, we'll be addressing more looking at comparative analysis to other programs, and looking at how our programs are delivered, credit hours, those types of things. So that's where we're at this point.
Thanks, Lisa. John? What's up?
Yes, aloha, everybody. Susan Kazama, the interim VCAA at Honolulu Community College, and I facilitated the business programs. And these were the meetings that include business tech, business administration, marketing, management, entrepreneur, and accounting. We had our first meeting Monday, 90 minutes with 24 people in attendance. And we had a second meeting for those that could not make the Monday meeting or those who wanted to continue the conversation yesterday. We had 18 people attend that meeting. And so we worked through the guiding questions. We really made it a freestyle, open conversation, taking it section by section. And I have to say how impressed I am with the thoughtfulness, the professionalism, the forward thinking, the collegial conversation that we had. Our next meeting is next Monday. We have 2 more 1-hour sessions to distill. I'm going to be distilling all the information down from the first 2 meetings into the core areas of interest and concern. We're going to review that next Monday. We have 2 sessions again. And then over that next week, between then and November 9th, we are going to be putting together the submission to Erica. We're going to take 2 approaches on it. One is that as facilitators, we're going to take all the information and distill it into a report. We're also going to build a document that collaboratively all the faculty who participated in that can put together a memo as well as a collaborative. And then we'll look at the 2 and see how we want to proceed as we submit that. So that's our update. Very, very positive. I will also say that Kapiolani was very well represented in these conversations. And in preparation, I'll shout out to our accounting folks. They sat down and did the lion's share of work before our first meeting. And they put together a process and recommendations that were just outstanding. And I think it becomes the model for the things that we're going to be doing moving forward. So a great process that we had.
Thank you, John. There was a question in the chat from Lisa Aganon asking whether we could see the guiding questions. And I don't think I have copies of the guiding questions. So if somebody could send me the copies, I'll make, so Lisa, you had some, and John, you had some, and Maria, did you guys get guiding questions too? Okay. Are they all the same for all the different groups?
Yes, it's all the same.
So Maria, could you send that to me?
Okay, I will.
We'll share it with the rest of the campus because these are guiding questions that could be used for all the different disciplines. Yes.
Yeah.
And absolutely, the responses from these system-wide groups will be public. They will be shared publicly on the UHCC website, as Lisa Radek points out. Too many Lisas. Almost as many Lisas as there were Susans.
You told me there were 75 within the system.
Yeah, I did that check one time. You can go into the UH directory and just type in somebody's first name and find out how many others are like you. I know, it's amazing. And they're like multi-generational. It's not everybody from the same age group. These are like old Lisas, young Lisas, middle-aged Lisas, Lisas everywhere. Lisa. Okay. What other questions do you have for these system-wide or other conversations? Not IT. I don't know that IT was listed. It may be a phase 2 thing. John, do you know anything about IT?
Yeah, it's happening. That's Kayla Chalk and Joni Onishi.
Okay.
Are leading that one.
Okay, so there is a group that is being led, BLT, the T in BLT, yes, Guy. So that's a different group that's being convened by somebody else, and I don't know where they are in process. Maria, John, do you know where they are in process?
I know that
Kelvin says, Calvin says, had a meeting this morning at 9. So y'all should be talking to each other, Calvin. How do you know that and David doesn't?
Yeah, Calvin, how do you know that and I don't?
I think you guys need to talk. The B and the L and the T need to be talking here.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think the KCC rep for IT is Dale
Dale,
Nakasone. Yeah,
okay.
I think.
Then that's a conversation the T guys need to have.
Yes.
Thanks, Lori. So Calvin, you are eavesdropping is what you just admitted to. I see, okay. What about non-instructional faculty aside from the counselors? I am not aware of there being any system-wide convenings of other kinds of academic support or non-instructional faculty that I'm aware of at this time. Much of that will likely be campus-based because the nature of those positions is very different on all the different campuses. So there's probably not going to be a convening, Louise, of the non-instructional faculty other than the counselors. And there's not even going to be a system-wide convening of counselors. It really is just an organized set of questions that all the counselors on all the campuses will be addressing at the campus level. Again, because we are organized differently and our functions are different.
Can I just comment on the OSET? So
Sure.
I'll let people know that's coming up. Okay, this is Carol Hosko, and I just want to report that continuing ed with a small c and a small e, system-wide, will be meeting, and the facilitator for that discussion is going to be Karen Lee, who is the interim chancellor of Honolulu Community College, and there's not been a date set yet. But we're waiting to hear about that, and I guess they're working on a charter for that discussion as well. Also, I would like to just update you that we're still working on the Oahu Back to Work program. It's gone very well, and this campus has nearly invoiced for about close to $400,000, and we've had to add extra sessions, especially in the IT area. Thank you.
Okay. There will be 2 other system-wide convenings. IR group is going to be convened, and the grant support folks are going to be convened, both of those groups by Josh Kaakua from Tammy's office. And they are, again, every group is going to have a charter so that their deliverables, their charge, their structure is going to be clear, explicit, and there's no confusion about what they are supposed to be doing. So each group will have a charter that they will be held accountable for. Brandon, did you hear anything about that?
Just for the institutional researchers, but not yet for the grants development folks. We're in good hands with Josh Kaakua, given his experience.
Okay, thank you. Other questions about that particular topic? Those meetings? It's kind of related to the question that was put in the topics, which is how can we as a campus come together to discuss solutions that will not only cut costs, but increase efficiency and quality of services. That is, meet community needs, increase enrollment, retention, persistence, graduation, and transfer. Some of those discussions need to be had among the practitioners. So the counselors will be having that conversation among the counselors, similarly the service librarians together. So I think that's one. First, it has to happen among the people who deliver the service. And then as a wider group, we do have a strategic plan that's coming into play very soon. And that will be an opportunity to have a broader discussion about a strategic conversation. We have to not just look at okay, if we cut this, we'll save $1,000. If we cut that, we'll save $1 million. It really is about where do we want to be as an institution and what is it going to take for us to get there while improving efficiency and cutting costs. So it's not just adding up what we can cut to see what number we get to, because right now we don't have a number to target. It's not like if you're doing your own budget at home and say, okay, I got to do some things differently because I've got to save this much money because I want to buy a car. This is really much more of a strategic conversation. So there will be opportunities for the affected individuals or the service providers to come together, and then there will be subsequent larger conversations at the campus level that will be more targeted, more strategic. Other thoughts? I got a comment in the private chat that said, we heard through the Coconut Wireless that there will be just one community college and 7 satellite campuses, which will result in a major change to administration and consolidation of all support operations, which would result in millions of dollars in savings. Coconut Wireless is not always operating at top optimal accuracy. You did hear, if you were paying attention, it's not 5G, you're right, Angela. If you were paying attention, Erica did say that that was something that was suggested. It is not something that is in the works. We are, however, trying to examine the services that all the campuses do and seeing whether or not it makes sense to centralize those services. As you've heard Erica talk, the example is financial aid. We have many, many different people on each of the 7 campuses doing financial aid. It's a highly regulated service, regulated by the federal rules and regs. And you would imagine that everybody would be doing it the same way. But some campuses have gotten into trouble with federal audits and other campuses have not. And that's an indication that maybe things aren't working as well as they should on all the campuses. So that's why we're looking at, would it make sense to centralize some aspects of financial aid so that there would be consistency across all the campuses? So each of those conversations about potential consolidations is really about, would it make sense? Does it increase efficiency? Does it increase the quality of the service? And does it cut costs? And yes, administrative costs are another of those costs. Does every campus need a chancellor? Why is that necessary? If you're going to have some functions centrally located, why would the chancellor be necessary? Could just be the VCAA and the VCAS and the VCSA reporting directly to one person from all the campuses. Why would you need a chancellor as well? So yes, there are lots of suggestions being thrown out, and none of those yet have any, there's nothing that's been decided. As you know, it's November 9, the deadline for all this feedback to go into Erica. Erica will meet with chancellors. Erica will meet with her associate vice presidents, and there will be, conversations abounding between November and December with the president, because the president needs to make an announcement to the Board of Regents at their December meeting, mid-December, I think. So, and that will begin the next stage of the conversations. So we're kind of moving into the second part of the topics, which is follow up on Erica and Mike Yu's conversations with us on Monday. So open for any kind of feedback, any questions that have come up to you in the intervening 2 days. Thoughts? You can unmute yourself. You can put it in the chat as you like.
Hi, Louise. It's
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa A.
Lisa A.
First one.
You must be Canadian, eh?
A. My mom says I was named after some soap opera character. So anyway, so my question really is about timeline. because as I alluded to earlier, we are preparing to provide a document to administration about the rationale and justification of what we do, how many positions we need, and on and on and on. So I'm just wondering about the timeline. I get that we're having these conversations and that the preliminary things, but what are drop dead deadlines that you would like us to know about so that we can position ourselves accordingly to be part of the conversation, or at least provide evidence and justification of what we're doing and why? Is there a timeline? I don't know. I'm just.
The initial timeline is November 9 for feedback on the proposed directions in Erica's memo. So that's top priority. The programs and services that were identified there were identified in part because the services are, for the first part, the first table, the services are offered on all the campuses. And so that was the point of departure for looking at possibly centralizing some of those. The list of academic programs that is in that memo, they are there because they are potentially small programs with fewer graduates than others relative to a bunch of others. That's why they are the phase ones, they are top priority. So those are the programs that are under discussion right now. There may be other programs coming in phase two. Lisa R. alluded to some other programs that will be in phase two of the conversations, but that's the timeline for now. And I don't remember seeing nursing on any list.
Who's there?
Well, it's relating to the hiring freeze, to be quite honest.
Hiring freeze is a very different thing, Lisa.
Right. But it feels like we have to justify and fight and show how important these positions are. As you've said before, we have to make an appeal all the way up, has to go all the way up to Lassner.
Yes.
So I've lost 2 positions in this last year. I'm set to lose 2 more. I got 2 swept away. So I'm just trying to find out if I need a Band-Aid, if I need a tourniquet, like what do I need to do? Who do I need to tell? How do I need to communicate? It's almost as if you have to go on offense instead of just playing defense and let it come to you. So that's why it's a position thing, it's workload, it's everything. In order to provide the nurses and the nurses assistants and the practical nurses for the state, I need help. And so that's just my perspective. Thank you.
So your perspective and your hard work in justifying the need to recruit the position. When you come time to recruit, that's when you would submit that kind of documentation, not in the absence of any request. So you don't need to justify the existence of nursing in all the positions you need now in the abstract. But when you put forward a position or you want to request a recruitment, that's when that information is going to be needed. And there's a special form you have to fill out, all of that stuff. So if you want to have that ready to put forward a request for permission to recruit. And that request for permission to recruit is what has to come from the campus to Erica for her recommendation to the president for his approval. That's the process for that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Brandon put in the date, likely to 17. Oh, they wouldn't do it on Christmas Eve, surely. Wow, that would be like the Grinch. Other feedback on Erica and Mike? Other questions you'd like answered, things you're not sure of, things that aren't clear? Scrooge, yes, that's better. The ghost of Christmas future. Congratulations to those who won the tombola game. That was great. Congratulations. And I hear some, oh, thank you. Sheldon has a question and Hal has more Dickens. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Hi,
Sheldon.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I guess this has a question to do with the 11 switching to 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I know councils are talking with the respective colleges. And I know there was some mention that maybe the conversation might not come together because we do operate differently. But do you feel like the window that's provided to us will give us an opportunity to share what we do over the summer? And the reason I'm bringing this up, I had a conversation with a colleague from another community college who went through the same presentation, and the feeling they got was that the message was counselors don't do anything over the summer. And so I guess I'm hoping in this window where we're collecting information will provide us that opportunity to share the kind of work that's done over the summer.
Yes. So the question of 11 to 9 months is going to be a campus decision. It is not going to be system-wide. What I can tell you is that the chancellors have been having conversations about principles. By what principles might we make that decision to say that somebody who is 11 months needs to be 9 months, so that we're making decisions based on the same principles. The decisions from campus to campus will differ because of the nature of the campuses and the nature of the work that the counselors or other 11-month faculty do. So it is not going to be a system-wide decision, but the conversations will take place on the campus. And I know that Noel is going to be making sure that those conversations happen, but I don't want to speak for him. So Noel, if you want to let folks know what the campus decision, not decisions, but conversations might be like, and then I'll get to Dave Stevens' question after that.
Yeah, so I mean, those conversations, I'll try to have it finalized this week, especially with the counselors. Regarding, I think your comment with the summertime and what counselors do over the summer. So even before we started to have this conversation and during our admin conversations, I have been talking about what the counselors do over the summer. So it's not, I feel that I think I have pretty good knowledge of what you guys do during the summer, because I think I tell you guys to do a lot of those things. So I know it's not I guess a dead space during the summer. I could even argue that it's probably busier over the summer. So those conversations are happening, but I would like to probably have an opportunity with everybody together so that there can be a unified response as to what goes on in the summer. And those are the conversations that I'll probably have. Our administration for our campus, we're not under the assumption that nothing goes on in the summer. And if that does come up, I do talk about the various things that does happen or the potential negative impacts on the campus if we do switch everything to 9 months, right? So those things it's just highly unlikely because of what we have been doing and the way the college is currently operating. But what we will talk about is basically how the college will look or try to move toward, and what does this duties actually look like in the summer. And that one, I want to have at least 2 meetings before this November 9th timeline. So it might be one of those, I'll just propose a bunch of times on various days, and whoever can come, because it's just too hard to find a common date at this time. But definitely, Sheldon, we'll talk about those things, because I think that's the biggest misconception right now about the summer months.
Right. Thanks, Noel. Before I get to Lavash's question, Dave Stevens, the word retrenchment came up in Erica's meeting. Is that a topic being discussed? Retrenchment is applicable to the collective bargaining unit for faculty. Other bargaining units have different words, reduction in force. So the loss of personnel is, yes, part of the conversations. As you heard from Mike, it's not likely that we can get to the level of reductions necessary just by cutting what he called non-instructional expenses, which led some people to think non-instructional means faculty who don't teach. But non-instructional to Mike means supplies, casual hires, those kind of things. So it's not likely that we can get to the deep reductions that are going to be necessary just on the basis of cutting those other expenses. So there is going to be personnel that are going to be impacted by the decisions that the university will make. Whether it's retrenchment of faculty or reduction in force of staff or layoffs, then that's not been decided. No one has been targeted. No unit has been identified. And all of those processes must be negotiated with the unions. So we're not at that point. And then Lavashay says, has there been any discussion about using summer to increase retention and persistence? The summer slide is real for our students. What about our college success courses and summer bridge programs and other initiatives of the summer? Right, so those are the ingredients of that conversation. There is nothing at the chancellor's level that I'm aware of that says, let's not do summer anymore. It's not like that. So it is about what activities do we do in the summer, which of those activities necessarily need to be done in the summer, and who do we need on the campus to do those things. So those activities that you mentioned, Lavashay, are components of our onboarding, are components of how we help students to be successful. Is that something we want to do? If it is, then what do we need? How many people? For what purpose? For what time period in the summer? The agrarian calendar, yes. Yes, I know. It's the whole thing is time to rethink everything. It would probably, I even asked about, can we have 9-month faculty on staggered duty periods? And there was like, no. So a change in the agrarian calendar, Guy, although it might be really wise, why do we do a spring break anyway? We're not planting anymore. We're not putting seeds in the ground. Yeah. Try change a university calendar. See where it gets you. The expensive cost of summer classes. More students would attend if the cost was the same as the regular semester. Yes, but then Lavashay, we would have to enroll more students in those classes in order to pay the instructional faculty, because summer session is not subsidized by the state government. So we would need to have, dozens and dozens of students paying regular $131 per credit to take the class in order to cover the salary of the instructor. Could I confirm that there's a possibility of conversion from 11 to 9 and furloughs? The governor is the one who controls the furloughs. So whether or not there are furloughs will be a decision made by not us. We, the university, do not decide on the furloughs. That's the governor's call. So it is possible that there would be 11 to 9 and furloughs operational. Lavashay, I don't think we had a lot of success though when we offered the developmental classes during the summer at regular tuition rates. Maybe it was the wrong target audience. Maybe we would have more luck with, upper division or 100 and 200 level classes at regular rates. But I don't recall there being a real robust enrollment when we offer and continue to offer developmental at regular rates. Any discussion with the DOE about coordinating calendaring? We did for spring break. Other than that, no. They're on different kind of duty periods, right? Their faculty are on different duty periods. And that calendaring might go out the window, who knows? Random question from Shannon. Is the farmer's market on Saturdays going to be coming back in November? Coconut Wireless. There is conversation about it. There are a couple of, the farmer's market put together a plan to operate under COVID. They submitted it to us. We asked for feedback. We asked for revisions. They made the revisions. We forwarded it to up the chain of command to Erica, Mike, and it went to OGC, the Office of the General Counsel. They created a whole new contract with lots and lots of stipulations. That went back to the farmer's market. Farmer's market is looking at it going, yeah, we can do that, not doing that, not doing that. That got sent back up to Mike, you, and that's where it sits right now. So we are not yet at the place where the farmer's market would be commencing again. There are still some areas that are not completely buttoned down. It really, I think the outstanding piece was crowd control. How are they going to be able to manage crowds? Even though most, we don't have the JBL tour buses coming in right now, but there were still a lot of people, and we wanted to make sure that they were going to manage the crowds. What's on your mind, anybody?
Couple of non-COVID, non-budget, still got our jobs to do kind of things. So a couple of dates to keep in mind for the instructional faculty and a reason why you might be getting increase from students. November 2nd is going to be a Monday. That is the last day to drop a course with the W. If you start to get increase from your students, it might be because we are doing an Instagram Live tomorrow about cost benefits of doing a W and what you should do, including talking to your instructors. Other than that, the other big one is November 9th is going to be registration for the spring semester because we are moving forward as a college and we still got to move through the spring semester. I'll be sending out more details about how that is taking place virtually online and hopefully some messages you can kind of pass on to your students. But yeah, came around real fast. We're already at that midpoint, so getting ready for spring semester, even though we're currently in the fall.
Yes, Lavashay, it is. That's the hardest part. In between November 2nd and November 9th is November 3rd. If you haven't already dropped your ballot into a box somewhere, those of you who can vote, I cannot, but please do. Something on a lighter note. Oh, were we going to do something? We're going to do a scavenger hunt. I forgot. Cindy, are you on here? Was it Cindy who was going to do it? Ah, totally forgot.
I think that was me. This is Brooke.
Say what?
I said I think that the scavenger hunt. I can do
Brooke,
it next.
it was you.
Yes.
That's right.
Can
I'm
do
so
it next.
sorry. Want to do it now?
Probably right this second. But what about next week? We could start.
Okay. All right. I'm so sorry. That's totally my fault.
All good. I wasn't ready either.
You're so kind. Thank you for saying that. Makes me feel less bad. Denise says there's a Halloween spooktacular. Oh, Kathy. Farmers Market is saying that they're starting on November 14th. I better follow up on that. Thank you. Thanks very much. I will follow up for sure.
Louise, it's on their website. Let me send you the link.
Already there. Kathy put the link in the chat, Shannon. Thanks. Yeah, rascals. Other thoughts, anyone? Watch out for trick-or-treaters. I don't know what's gonna happen. Cupcakes, yeah. I had one. If you missed out the Chantilly Mac Nut brownies, you lose totally. They're delicious.
Thank you. Yes, 4 words, Chantilly Magna brownies.
Yum Raiser. Anybody want to do fundraising? Figure those brownies were excellent. Okay, and there's some free testing at the Shell. Did I see that somewhere? Angela, did you put that out?
Yes, it's free. It's the surge testing, and it's occurring all this week and all next week at the Waikiki Shell. It's really easy to sign up.
Is that at the do I need a COVID test dot? Okay.
Yes, it is. And it's actually very easy. It's a self-administered test, so they will talk you through it. I've been tested 4 times now. I think I've shared this before, just because I go to clinical and I want to maintain a healthy baseline, and it's free. So you literally register, you just drive right down there and you're in and out within 15 or 20 minutes max. The caveat is to print your voucher out, and it'll be 5 or 10 minutes instead of 15. So I really encourage everybody to get a baseline, especially with the holidays coming up, and you know, you want to have Thanksgiving, show your negative COVID test, and then have some people come to your house. Otherwise, keep the mask on.
So we're going to be like at the airport. Relatives can come in if they've tested negative 72 hours prior to. Flo asked, how long does it take to get the results, Lisa?
About 48 hours or less. And that's because not so many people are going. So it's just really, really immediate. And it's just a really good idea to do it. You know, get tested, get voted, and get healthy. Stay healthy.
Does this qualify for Safe Travels Partner? I don't know what that is, Kathy. Anybody know what that is? Safe Travels Partner?
Yeah, if you're traveling back into Hawaii, you have to use one of the partners for testing as part of the Safe Travels program to come back into Hawaii, but I do not believe this is a part of that program.
Okay, that helps, thanks. But I think they've identified, because now folks from Japan are going to be allowed in, and they've identified approved testing sites in Japan. So that might make things a little bit easier also for our students who might come back in the spring.
I believe they've identified about 12 different partners now.
Mm. Probably none from Canada. I still can't go home. Don't trust those Canadians. Wouldn't trust my TB test. Why would they trust my COVID test?
They do have CVS and Walgreens.
No, we don't. We have Jean Coutu and Pharmaprix. Sorry. Other questions, other announcements, things we need to be mindful of, remember to do, besides smile and laugh? Vote, yes, Denise. Exactly. Early and often, as they did in Chicago. Coconut Wireless, Walgreens Market City is closing. Oh, big sale at Walgreens Market City, huh? Okay. Worth a trip. I got a private chat. Canada is imminent to be added to the trusted partner. Oh, good. We share 2,500 miles of border. I guess we can be trusted. Maybe I can go see family at some point before my ticket expires. That would be good. All of you are invited. Invited to Canada? Yes. No, to the Zoom party. Friday the 30th from 3 to 4. Denise puts the chat.
It's a
Put in the
Halloween.
chat.
It's
Go,
a
Denise.
costume. It's a virtual costume party. Come and join us. Get creative. Get out of your comfort zone and do something to get your mind off of all the other stuff for an hour. Join us.
Absolutely. It's on my calendar. We're not going to get Lee Hing pineapple this year, though. I do remember that one.
Yes.
And campus ghost stories from Roman.
Yes.
Roman, which prize did you win at the tombola?
I didn't win a prize. I wish I did.
Fun. Wasn't you, huh?
No.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it was Saba. It was Saba who won. Nursing faculty. Lisa A wants to know if there's an update about the fall graduation drive-through event. I'm hoping to get word after this afternoon. There were concerns expressed when Vice President Lacroix asked the Chancellor who among us was considering doing a fall graduation. Kapiolani was the only campus who responded, yes, we are considering a fall graduation, and we were considering a drive-through. Then it was like, oh, there are issues with drive-thrus. Let me double check. So she's going to double check this afternoon. And my understanding is the concerns were about the gathering of folks before the drive-through, with the congregation of individuals before they made the drive-through and what that might look like. So she's going to double check for us. I will know more probably at tomorrow's Chancellor's meeting.
Can you just provide me an update? Our graduating cohorts wanted to participate and then end up here in Lot A for a nursing pledge outside of their cars. So if it's not going to happen down there, then we may have something similar to what we did last time. And I thank you guys for joining us last time with that little drive-through. Remember the one graduate, they did their picture and then they drove and then they left the grandma.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny, but and then there were dogs and everything. So
yeah, I do recall. Yes.
Yeah, so we don't want to propose something that may not happen.
Right.
If it's not going to happen, then we may choose to do our own pinning and pledge up here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Olive Garden fans. That's pretty brave, opening a restaurant now. That's pretty brave. It's hope, right? Gotta inspire hope. I've never eaten there. Calvin, you've eaten there? Is it good? I've never had an Olive Garden. I only see the ads. Calvin says yes.
Soup and salad rocks. They've got 3 or 4 different types of soups. It's all you can eat soup and salad, and it's really good. And so over the lunch hour, it's a good solution for a quick in and out lunch.
And all the breadsticks you can eat, apparently. Okay, takeout. All right. Guess I better put that on my list of things to explore when it opens. Ala Moana is so far though. I never go west of Kahala Mall these days. Okay, we're coming up 1:55. Last chance. Who has what things to say, share, tell a joke, sing a song? Actually, my brother just sent me an article from the New York Times, and it's called "When My President Sang Amazing Grace," and it's a reporter who talks about the current political situation and how the former president responded to a very serious Charleston event, and the song that was written about it, and it's all embedded, and you can click on the links, and you could watch when Obama sang Amazing Grace at the religious event. It was, and you kind of remember, wow, that's what presidents can be. Just saying, sorry. Local businesses shop at, yeah, popupmakake.com and win prizes at AUW. Sing, oh, no, you don't want me to sing for you. You know that, I did sing at graduation. I'm not doing it again. Dave Evans told me, America has voted, you're not coming back. You can stop me on the campus and ask me about that graduation if you were not here at the time. A cappella in front of the whole campus, 5,000 people, yes.
Only because there was an ambulance that we were waiting to leave.
Yes. Chancellor Richards, I was the MC. He told me, Louise, don't let the graduates go. Somebody's fainted. We need the ambulance to come on. We don't want all these people all over the campus. So yes, it was lean on me. Thank you, Sheldon. And it was, Louise, don't let the graduates go. So, okay, everybody stay where you are. We're sorry, we have an emergency. And it went on and on and on. And then I couldn't think of what to do because all the jokes I knew could not be shared in that audience. So instead of doing stand-up, I did start to sing. And I can't sing. And it was like, oh my God, what I would do for this campus. But it was nice because people did join in. And then one graduate came down from the bleachers and started to sing Under the Boardwalk with me. and then thankfully the ambulance left and we were allowed to let go because she was not even as good as me, which is a very low bar. So yeah, it was fun. Okay, this is AUW Murder Mystery. Yes, I heard it was great. I'm looking forward. I'm doing it the one tomorrow. I heard it was good fun. So we're looking forward to that. Darsh, is it too late to join in on a murder mystery if people missed it?
No, it's never too late. I still have spots if you want to join. I do have 7 teams. So it's 7 different dates and times, and I'm still arranging one last team. So if you are still interested, just send me an email and I'll put you up.
And when we can get together in real life, Dave Evans wants us to start playing Clue because we all miss Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the billiard room. So I have a new game still wrapped in cellophane. We're ready to go. So as soon as we can get permission to be more than 5 people 6 feet apart, we'll do that. With different endings. What different endings? Oh, the murder mysteries. Yeah. Maria says, congratulations to the Tombola winners. Maria, can you tell us who won real quick? I put you on the spot now because you don't have your list.
Actually, okay, so for, let's see here, I have my list. So for round 1, the top line, Alison Ohata actually won. She won also 4 corners for Tombola. And then Cheryl Fujihara won a round 2 middle line. And you were right, LP, I didn't have my my trusty list. And then Annie Thomas won the full house during the second round. And then, oh, here, Saba Cam was, she was really lucky. She won the early 5 and the lucky number during the round 1. And then did I miss anything? Anybody? Huh?
Yeah, I think they put
Oh,
Alison, Cheryl, Saba, Vern, Annie. Yeah, I think all the names are in the chat room. Thanks, Maria. You guys were great. It was good fun.
Yes, thank you so much for attending.
Yeah, even if I didn't win, it's okay.
You were serious though, LP.
Very serious.
You were listing your numbers down.
Okay, 1:59, Wednesday, October 28th, coming to a close here. Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe with your loved ones. Take care of yourself first. Take care of each other. Michelle, what happened to your hand? You're waving with a bandaged hand. I can't resist. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Just
Alright.
clumsy.
Take care. Everybody, you can unmute yourself, say goodbye to your colleagues. Be careful, be good to each other. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Gwen.
Happy Halloween.
Happy. Bye. Oh, and
Have a good
our
day.
bracelet.
Bye-bye.
Yes.